Yo, buckle up. We're hitting the streets of Madison, New Jersey. From the historic spots to the small town charm, I'm giving you the ultimate drive-by tour today. So make sure you don't blink because you might miss something cool, possibly even literally. So I'm actually starting out the tour next to my two favorite spots in town. We've got Hilltop Bikes and Sunday Motor Cafe. I'm right along the train tracks here, which there is a direct train route to New York City. And this is really the first spot in Morris County where you're gonna be looking at a commute under an hour into New York Penn Station. And I'm gonna do a little U-turn here in this parking lot. And then we'll make our way onto the tour. So Hilltop Bikes is definitely my most frequented spot in Madison, partially because I don't really drink coffee. I just go there for the treats in regards to Sunday Motor Cafe. But I would argue that Sunday Motor Cafe is probably like the go-to coffee spot in all of Morris County. This is Hilltop Bikes over here on the right. If you're ever in need for a bike in the area, that's definitely the spot to go to. So Sunday Motor Cafe is over here on the right. They always have kind of vintage cars out here. That's kind of their thing, but their branding is like some of the best that I've ever seen. It's always on point. They got some food and snacks there too, but just the vibes there are like second to none. And again, like I said, I don't even drink coffee, but I like going there just for the vibes alone sometimes. Definitely got some swagger in there. The train station we're coming up on, you can actually see a train pulling into the station right now. And this Hartley Dodge, memorial building over here on the right, it's like a municipal building. And then we got the train station on the left. But some of the best looking buildings around. You got tree-lined streets. Obviously it is spring, so you got some flowers popping along here, but really just a beautiful town. Architecturally, landscape, and does give you that New York City commute. So again, we're kind of riding the train line right here. Stuart Morris is a little trophy shop that actually the football foundation that I'm a board member on, we use them for our plaques for the high school kids. YMCA, Madison YMCA is there, a good gym option. I used to train a high school kid out of there every so often. Right now we're gonna just make our way pretty much as far east as we can possibly go in Madison and then work our way back as I give you the tour here. But you can get a feel for the area. Obviously an absolutely beautiful day. You got sidewalks throughout. Wish the kids were wearing some helmets, but it's a tough sell for teenagers, I think. And one thing I always like to point out about Madison that's definitely unique, it's called the Rose City. There used to be a lot of rose gardens, farms, something along the sort here. But along those lines, most towns in the area are supplied their electricity by Jersey Central Power and Light, which is acronym is JCP&L. But Madison actually has their own like electrical company essentially that you're paying, and they have their own linemen that repair. But it's a unique kind of situation. And what I'm told from the people who do live here, we have some friends who live here, that when the power on occasion, when it does go out, actually is fixed relatively fast because they have like a dedicated group to fix the problems. Kings Road School on my right. And that Sunday Motor Cafe used to actually be an old garage, like a gas station garage. But they have like really cool kind of vintage car meetups there. It gets crowded though, because it is very popular. All right, we're gonna make a left here on Union. Okay. And this is like Madison Ave, Route 24. It takes you, if I went left, it would bring us right into downtown Morristown. And if I continue going straight, you're gonna go to Chatham. We're gonna hang a left here. I'm gonna give you a little quick tour of the Del Barton neighborhood, which right now we're actually equidistant from the Madison train station and the Chatham's train station, so convenient in that sense. It's near Del Barton Park, which hence the name of the community. It just has some ball fields. You're still relatively close to Whole Foods. There is a Whole Foods in Madison, so you're not far away from that Whole Foods in this neighborhood. There is a neighborhood that we're gonna hit that's closer, which is the next one, but you're still pretty conveniently located here. And then obviously we're hitting some power lines, which again, like, I am a realtor in the state of New Jersey. You know, I would love to be a real estate choice and making the move to the Garden State, so definitely feel free to call, text, or email me at any time. But I always point out things like this. That's what I do in my drone videos that I send to my clients. They know exactly what the surrounding area is gonna look like. Route 24 is in the distance, which is a convenient commuting option. I'm just gonna kind of zigzag through this neighborhood here, just so you can kind of get a little feel for it before we head into the next neighborhood. Yeah, it all kind of looks very similar and the same, so I'll make it quick. Again, this is the Del Barton neighborhood, as far east as you could pretty much get in Madison. So we are gonna hop on Madison Ave. We are gonna pass that Whole Foods. Today's actually a spring break day for the kids in Madison, so hopefully the traffic isn't too bad. But this road does get pretty backed up during rush hour traffic. There's just a bunch of street lights. There's not really a lot of options to get around. Cut throughs here. Got a new apartment building getting built over here. And this Madison car wash over here, when I lived in Morristown, I actually used to go to this car wash all the time. Now my car just stays dirty because I've got little kids and too busy to go, and I just don't care as much anymore. But it is a great car wash. And the owner of it was always outside helping the crew, you know, dry off cars and keep the things flowing. All right, and this is that Whole Foods over here on the right. Again, solid Whole Foods. I say it's probably bigger than the one in Morristown, which isn't really tough to do. It's not a very big one there. We're gonna be making our way into the Spring Garden section of Madison. You can see you've got bike lanes throughout here, which is huge. There you can see, you know, flat lots. Kind of a mixture of architecture aesthetic here. There's a couple of nice looking baseball fields bordering here, which we're actually gonna pass once we get through this neighborhood. Kids outside enjoying their spring break. Here's that ball field. Again, I love the bike lanes. Those are rare and hard to come by, but for someone who really likes to ride the bike, appreciate it when they're there. All right, now we're gonna make a left on to Knollwood. Got Memorial Park over there, town pools over there. All right, this is the Knollwood neighborhood. Close to the middle school, close to Dodge Field, which we're gonna pass in just a bit. All right, then we're gonna be making a left onto Greenwood, which is where we're gonna pass that Dodge Field Park. So now we're kind of making our way back towards that Route 24, Madison Ave, downtown area, which we will take a little brief tour of. Again, more bike lanes, lots of sidewalks, relatively flat too, in comparison to a lot of the other towns that I've filmed in around here. This is that Dodge Field, Dodge Park, basketball courts. Love that there's tons of kids out here right now, enjoying the nice weather on a spring break day. Parents are probably obviously looking for something to keep their kids occupied. Looks like they actually significantly changed this since the last time I came. Like, it's completely different before. And I was gonna actually make a comment in this video that for as nice of a town as Madison is, the playground at that Dodge Field Park was like pretty bad. I mean, like old and kind of beat up and just not great. And I just passed it and noticed that it's completely revamped. So I guess I wasn't the only person who thought that. And so you can kind of see the train tracks in the distance here, which again, we kind of just are looping our way back towards where we started on Kings Road next to the Sunday Motor Cafe. Again, this is 2:41 in the afternoon, so you can kind of get a feel for some potential traffic in the area. This Nautilus Diner over here, we actually used to go there all the time when I worked in my healthcare job before getting into real estate, just because it's not far from Morristown. They got a little bit of everything. It's a decent diner, but it's been a staple here in Madison for a very long time. I think diners are still like, there's a Jersey thing, right? I don't think they're really all that popular in other parts of the country, but I would say in most towns there's a diner in most towns, which I guess I can't assume that you know what it is, but it's basically just a restaurant that's generally open early, late, serve breakfast all day, kind of have a smorgasbord of menu options, which at the time of making this video, Rory McIlroy just finally got his green jacket, I guess last weekend. But just downtown shops and restaurants, lots of mom and pops, not really too many commercial businesses in here. One of the tuxedo places that we used to use for the Scholar Athlete Banquet for the Football Foundation used to be here. And we've got McCool's Ice Cream, which is probably the spot that I've been to the most in Madison. You can see tree-lined streets, lots of kind of historic looking buildings, not really a lot of vacancies. You got a mixture of like kind of some boutique stores, liquor stores, restaurants, pizzerias. Oh, this is a good one. The Snooki shop. So for you Jersey Shore fans, Snooki has her own shop here. I think she actually lives in Madison. But either way, she's got her own little shop there. We just passed it on the right. There's a Chipotle right here, which I actually got really sick after eating there once. And I actually think it was completely unrelated to the food itself, but I like just said that it was the Chipotle. I had done this I was like early 20s. I did this like crazy CrossFit competition, and I built a fire pit with my friend all day, lugging stuff, like 2 days back to back. And I ended up getting really sick, but I think it was more just like a lack of recovery. And it just happened to have Chipotle from Madison before I ate it. I've eaten Chipotle since. It's only taken me probably like 15 years or so. Not 15, maybe 10. 10 years, and I finally had Chipotle again. It wasn't the Chipotle. It was definitely my lack of recovery habits. All right, and we're gonna make a left on Myrtle. So this is Ridgedale. This will take us into Florham Park, which is another town I'll be covering. So if you are interested to find out more about Florham Park, make sure you subscribe to this channel because I'm gonna be doing more and more videos like this. And this is a neighborhood called Ridgedale Park. We're close to the high school. There's a rec complex over here that we're gonna pass. Some ball fields, basketball court, some playgrounds, some swing sets over there as well. Again, I think one of the biggest differences here is it's flat. Like, for the most part, it's pretty flat, which is definitely not consistent with what we typically see in the videos that I've been doing, at least. Right on north, and we're actually making our way towards that high school. The hill in front of us is kind of where the football field is. And right now we're kind of really close to that New York Jets training facility. So we're on the more kind of northwest side of town now. And this is the Madison Common townhome area, which I'm not going to go into there. They have some road closures and stuff, but you can kind of get the gist of what you're working with just from this view. They do have tennis courts, clubhouse, and a pool. Appears to be well maintained. Got some apartments over here on the left as well. And this is the same road that the Jets training facility is on. Now this is the Oak Knoll section of Madison. We got Rosewood Drive on my left, Rose Ave on my right. We're gonna go down Rose Ave just to further, reiterate the Rose City name that Madison has, because they used to have, those Rose Farm gardens. That's kind of where the infrastructure came for that electricity and stuff like that. All right, so this is Oak Knoll. We've got a sign for Fairleigh Dickinson University, which is technically in Florham Park, but just a private university. Then we got the traction line trail, which runs along the railroad tracks, goes into Morristown. Not going to be your most scenic, hike or trail, but it's convenient if you're just looking to get some runs in and some miles in. If you're training for a triathlon or marathon or something, it's a convenient option. Don't have to worry about cars or anything like that. And Fairleigh Dickinson has a beautiful campus, by the way. Really nice looking school. Now we're making our way into the Fairwood neighborhood. Again, we're more west in Madison at the moment. Sidewalks on both sides of the street. Picked the perfect time with the flowers blooming. Making our way back towards Madison Ave. And directly across the street from me is another university, Drew University. Both schools are like Division III schools. They have strong reputations. I would say they're not as popular with the local kids because most kids want to go away for school, but they are very good schools. And they're nice to look at. Both with nice campuses, lots of stuff going on in the towns, access to trains in New York City. So in terms of location, they're great. All right, now we're kind of on the border of where it starts to turn into Morristown, or Morris Township. On my right, we've got Giralda Farms, which is a kind of old industrial corporate complex that they turn into a park. And now there's about 5 miles of trails that are run all along it. There's constantly people riding their bikes, going for their runs on those paths over there. I'm sure we'll see some people doing that today. They also host music festivals, there in the warmer weather. The last 2 people are looking down at their phones while they're walking out here. 3 people in a row. I'm starting to get that sense. I'm sure I look at my phone too. I'm not saying that I'm unique in that sense. I don't look at my phone. I definitely do. But I'm starting to notice more people almost as drug addicts, to their phone. I think of that myself when I'm catching myself locked into my phone. I'm like, oh gee, I'm like a crackhead right now. But just interesting. The last 3 people walking on the trail were all looking down at their phones. Okay, now we're gonna make our way into the orchard section of town. So this is the orchard section. Obviously you're close to Giralda Farms here. Walkable, you don't have to cross Route 24 in order to get there. So that's convenient. There's Orchard Street, giving the neighborhood its name. We're about to cross it now. I think what's sticking out to me most is there's sidewalks everywhere here. It's a very walkable town, which I think I really love. And it's also pretty to walk around too. There's no spots that are dirty or not taken care of. Everything's kind of well taken care of. All right, now we're gonna go left here on Green Village, which Green Village, if we kept going straight on this, it's gonna take us right back to where we started at Sunday Motor. Go right on Woodland. So now we're finishing the tour with some of the more expensive homes you're gonna come across in Morris County in general. But this is the hill section of Madison. You got, stately homes, big yards, but you'll see all that coming up here. Definitely wish I was riding my bike right now. Honestly, I think the last time I rode my bike was like September. Just when you have a business and kids, it becomes not as much of a priority. But all right, making a left here. And same thing, I'm making my way like kind of right towards that train station. I kept going straight. But we're gonna stick up here on the hill. You can almost, probably won't be able to see it from the GoPro on top, but I can see the train tracks from here. All right, making a left on hillside. You can kind of see what we're talking about with those stately houses. And in this section of town, there's 3 listings available right now. All of them are over $2 million ask price. So just to give you some context on that. Oh, I wanted to go down this one. Crescent, or croissant, if that's how you like to pronounce it. I think it's more fun to say it that way. Lots of cedar shake roofs, which is, I have a cedar shake roof. I'm pretty sure I have the only cedar shake roof in all of Randolph, and had I known kind of the maintenance that goes into it, I don't know if I would have bought the house. They look really nice and they're really cool. And if you take care of them, they last a long time. But to take care of them, it's expensive. Like I don't have a house even remotely close to the size of these. And I was quoted like $6,000 for, like semi-annually maintenance. They have to clean it. You have to soft wash it. You can't power wash it. Then you have to put it, you're supposed to oil it. I'm like, by the time I'm, done with this, I could have bought a new house. They said, you know what? I'm just going to clean it and let it be what it is. We're wrapping up our hillside tour here as we make our way to the final neighborhood on the Madison, New Jersey drive-by tour. You're going to see more of these kind of like hillside-like houses. Very stately looking, very large, very nice, and very expensive. But if that fits your budget, like I said, I'm a realtor in the state of New Jersey and would love to be your real estate choice in making the move to the Garden State. So feel free to call, text, or email me at any time. All right. Lots of cyclists out today. Just making me super jealous. But again, look at these wide shoulders, right? For bike lanes. Lots of nice looking trees. Don't they teach kids that you're supposed to go on the other side of the road when you ride your bike and wear a helmet? All right, wrapping up. Actually, nope, that's not the one I wanted. We're wrapping up in the Dellwood neighborhood, which is actually right across this little intersection. All right, so we'll just finish up on this little loop, but these are more historic type homes. Obviously, they've been kept up very well over time. But this is pretty far away from downtown. You're about a mile away from the downtown center at this point, which isn't terribly far, but you're also at the top of the hill. So you'd have to walk down the hill, which is fine, but then walk back up the hill to come back. Lots of slate roofs I'm seeing, cedar roofs. But all right, that wraps up the tour for Madison, New Jersey. Like I said, I am a realtor in the state of New Jersey, and I would love to be a real estate choice and make a move to the Garden State. So feel free to call, text, or email me at any time, and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content like this in other towns. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think Madison's a cool spot, and I'll talk to you guys soon.